So, good evening, everyone. This is John Rollins, and we are here. It's Wednesday, so that means we're here for our S.T.R.I.V.E session, our weekly S.T.R.I.V.E session. S.T.R.I.V.E is strategies to remain informed, victorious, and empowered. Strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain empowered. I hope that you are enjoying these holiday season. I hope that you're enjoying the change of weather. For me, I like it a little cold. And so this is perfect for me. I'm so happy with the change in weather. So our topic on today, we'll get right into it. Our topic on today is make friends with failure. And again, the reason that we're doing these sessions is because it was an assignment that was given to us by our pastor, our senior pastor, Pastor Horace Mingo, Jesus People Life-Changing Church. And we are looking for ways so that we could add some value, that we can inspire, empower, uplift, encourage the members of the body of Christ. Those of us who are believers, those of us who have made a decision that we're going to live our time here on this earth in a way that we could be a blessing to ourselves, we can blessing to our communities, a blessing to others. We just want to love on people. And so we're so excited for this privilege of being able to share some of this information with you. And I really pray that it is doing something that is making a difference for you, the S.T.R.I.V.E sessions. Okay, and again, so our topic on today is make friends with failure. And I can imagine that if someone hears this, you're saying, why would I want to make friends with failure? You think that I want to avoid failure as much as I can. And I want to give you a different perspective on today. I want to share with you that it is our relationship with failure, how we deal with failure, that I believe that helps position us to succeed in the future. Somebody once said, you learn more from failure than you do from success. If you know how to do something and you do that well, you don't really learn anything from it. But if there is an area in your life where you're trying to improve, trying to develop, trying to mature, it's probably going to result in you not getting it all right the very first time when you try it. So failure, I work also often with the young people, and I tell them that failure is something that we do. It is not who we are. And I once heard someone say, of course, unless you're skydiving and your parachute don't work, but failure is seldom fatal. Just because you fail at something, that doesn't mean that you have come to the end of all the options that are available for you. It's okay to fail. You want to fail. Some of the most impressive people that we know, if you go back and track their path, track their life, you will find out that more than anything, one thing that they all have in common is that they failed. But they didn't let that failure keep them from going forward and trying to become better in the things that were their desires. And so I'm going to tell you this now, and you'll probably hear me say it again. If you ever intend to do anything that is of some substance, you're probably going to fail. Okay. Make friends, get comfortable with failure. Okay. You know, when you are comfortable with your friends, you kind of let your guards down. You're not so concerned about how people perceive you. You're not so concerned about how you're perceived. You just be who you are. And in the pursuit of those things that are of value to you, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to be always walking on eggshells. You don't always want to be trying to make sure that you don't offend anyone or do anything wrong. You're going to make mistakes. We all are going to make mistakes. And so if we can become comfortable or friends with failure, then we can be ourselves. The real version of us will come out. And guess what? We probably will have success as a result of it. I was looking online and I found this article from Inc. magazine. Of course, there are a lot of magazines that speak to success, speak to fortune. You have Success Magazine, you have Fortune Magazine, you have Inc. Magazine, you have Black Enterprise. There's so many magazines, and I don't mind going and trying to find information from them. But I found this on Inc. Magazine, and it doesn't really surprise me. Okay, but the topic of that study was, or the topic of that report was, it says that only 8% of people, according to science, only 8% of people actually achieve their goals. Only 8% of people actually achieve their goals, which means that 92% of the people who set out to do things fail. 92 out of 100 people who actually take the time to try to set goals, 92 out of 100 fail. That means that we're in good company. If 92 out of 100 people are failing, then failure may not be as bad as we've attributed, the stuff that we've attributed to it. Okay, so in this article, and the author of the article was a guy named Marcel Schwantz. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly, S.C.H.W.A.N.T.S., maybe Swantes. Okay, but in his article, he said there are 7 things that those individuals, that 8%, there are 7 things that they do differently than the 92% who fail. Okay, and I, guys, listen to what I'm saying. Many years ago, I came up with this statement. Okay, I don't make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. When I do something, I don't consider it a mistake. I have lessons. So if I do something and I learn from it, was that a mistake? No, that was a lesson. And I'm all in favor of learning lessons. Now, I heard someone say that only a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise person learns from the mistakes of others. In other words, I don't have to make every failure myself. I can watch some other people, watch what they do, observe, listen, read, explore. I can find out what other people did that worked. I can find out what they did that didn't work, and I don't have to make every mistake myself. Okay. But if I have a situation, the outcome isn't what I desired, and I learned from it, it was not a mistake, it was a lesson. And I'm all about learning lessons. I say in every situation, we should be either teaching something or we should be learning something. Every time you have an experience, there's a lesson for someone. Either you're going to learn something, and if you learn it and you know it, then you should be teaching it to somebody else. All right. But Marcel said that there are 7 things that the 8%ers do that are different. We're saying that science says only 8% of people actually achieve their goals, which means 92% fail. This is what the 7% of the 7 things that the 8% do. Okay, and this is a study that was done by the University of Scranton. 92% of the people who set New Year's goals, they don't achieve them. Okay, but the 8% who do, this is some of the things that they do different. One, they begin with the end in mind. I don't know how many of you are Stephen Covey people, but Stephen Covey, of the 7 habits of highly successful people, one of those habits was, he says, successful people begin with the end in mind. In other words, they know in advance, before they start on a venture, what it is that they really want to accomplish. They have an expected or an intended outcome before they start putting forth significant effort into it. When you set goals, do you know where you're going? Okay. Or are you just driving down the road saying, we're going to go on vacation? Well, where are you going? I'm not sure yet. I just know that I want to go on vacation. I'll get in the car and I'll just keep driving, and wherever I end, that's where I end. That could be fine. That could be fine if you have the time and the money to do it. Okay, but if you want somebody else to go along with that trip, hey, why don't you go on vacation with me? Where are you going? I don't know. What you going to do? I'm not sure. Well, how much is going to cost me? Well, I'm not sure yet. Just bring $1,000 and we'll see where it goes. You think that person's going to want to take that trip with you? Probably not. And if they do, they're a good friend. You want to keep that person for life. Okay, but most of us, we have some idea of where we're going, where we're headed. Okay, how do you do that? You write down your goals. Okay, you write them down and then have a plan in order to kind of track your progress and let you know where you're headed with that goals. Okay, another thing that those 8% of people do, they have a strong support system around them. Okay, you want to have some people who love you enough to be brutally honest with you. Okay, and you want to be tactful. Okay, you want to have people who are tactful. You want to be tactful, okay, but you want to hear the truth. You may have heard me say this before. Yeah, in everything you do, you want to be truthful. Now, you may not always have to tell what you know to be true, okay, but whenever you're asked, you want to be truthful. Those people the 8%ers who achieve their goals, they have a support system around them. They have people who help them to accomplish the things that they're trying to accomplish. You've heard this saying before: no man, no woman, no person is an island. Okay, we all need people. I quote so often that Zig Ziglar said that you can get anything you want in life if you will help enough other people get what they want in life. We need people. Those 8% of people who achieve their goals, they have a strong support system. Okay. The third thing that they do, they set challenging goals. How many of you have heard of the phrase a SMART goal? Okay. Well, one of the components of a SMART goal is that it is specific. Okay. If you say that I want to get more money, okay, if I gave you 25 cents, guess what? You have more money. Okay. But just probably more, not quite what you had in mind. They have specific goals. I want to have a certain amount of money in my account by my birthday or by the end of the year. I want to have, this account has this much. I want to have this much in this account. And they're specific with it. They have a specific amount and they have a specific timeline, but they also challenge themselves. Somebody said, if you're meeting all your goals are probably too low. Okay. Those 8%, they set challenging goals that will cause them to stretch and to push them out of their comfort zone. Okay. Another thing, the fourth thing that these people do is they recognize when they're procrastinating. Okay. When I do a training for skills for success, we have a procrastinators anonymous club. Okay. These are the people who say, they say that they're going to do it when, we'll do it, but let's plan on doing it later. Okay. The successful people, they recognize when they're procrastinating. Okay. And I'm probably guilty as much as anyone else on procrastinating. Okay. But I've learned, and I'm working on this area of my life, to start planning things out ahead of time and working on a little bit at a time over time. And you'll be amazed at how much stress, how much pressure is released from us when we set our goals, we plan them out, and then we work on them over time. Many years ago, actually it was in 2014, I came up with this idea called the 1-5ers Club. 1-5ers, 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. If you agree to anything, whatever that thing is, your passion, your desire, your love, your goals, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, I promise you that if you worked on it 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, that means you get off on weekends, and I'll give you 2 weeks off of vacation. Okay. But if you work on it 1 hour a day, 5 days a week for 50 weeks, that's 250 hours. How much better do you think you will be at anything if over the next year you devoted 250 hours to it? You're going to be better. I assure you, your outcomes are going to be better. Okay. Quit procrastinating. The fifth thing that these people do is they practice the 52-17 rule. And now I just heard of this. I wasn't familiar with this. Okay, but the 52-17 rule is called interval training. In a book by Peak Performance, it recommends that you work for 52 minutes and then you put 17 minutes of relaxation, 17 minutes of clearing your mind, and then you go back to work again. And so the 52-17 rule is one of the things that these 8%ers do. The sixth thing that they do is they listen to music for focus. They allow that music to introduce a different wave into their mind. Okay. Now, the type of music you listen to is up to you. For me, I like music that has a positive message. Okay. But those people who meet their goals, they incorporate music into the time that they're focused on what it is to do. And then the last thing that these 8% of people who do is they don't multitask. Now, that probably is going to catch you off guard because a lot of us take pride in our ability to multitask. Oh, I can work on 3 things at the same time. No, you can't. Not effectively. Okay. Even the most brilliant mind is only able to hold one thought at a time. Okay. So instead of trying to do many things, and I'm not saying that you don't work on a goal and then you get to a place where you're okay and then you stop and then you go and devote your attention to something else. I'm saying quit trying to do all these things at one time. Okay. Because what ends up happening is we end up creating accidents. You're trying to drive and read and drink your coffee and do your makeup and talk on the phone. You're trying to do everything at one time because you say that you're good at multitasking, and you end up become really unproductive in any of them. All of them kind of suffer. You've heard the phrase "a jack of all trades, a master of none." No, that's not what successful people do. They find that thing and then they lock in on that. All right. So one of the things, the seventh thing that the successful people do is they don't multitask. Now, what I wanted to do, but we're out of time, but what I want to do is I just want to let you know, okay, and we're saying make friends with failure. Some of the people that we consider successful in almost any arena are people who other people counted out as failures. Okay, guys, you're not a failure. Failure is something that we do. Failure is something that we do. It's not who we are. You're not a failure, but you want to be comfortable with failure. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, because it's, again, when we do that, okay, that is what helps to position us to succeed. As crazy as it may sound, failure helps put us on the path to success. Hey guys, this is John. Jesus People Life Changing Church. This is our Strive session. Strategies to remain informed, strategies to remain victorious, strategies to remain in power. I really hope that our time together has proven to be beneficial for you. I hope that I'm sharing some information with you that you can actually use and go and incorporate in your life, in your destinations, on your journey. Because it is my desire. It is my desire more than anything else. I'm not trying to become an internet sensation. I want to give you something that will help you to be a better version of yourself. All right. So I close the way that we always do. Okay. I want to remind you that you are important. All right. Y'all be blessed. Thanks.